Not is how we do it.
Is this taboo?
You know what this is.
Did you ever? What color are your underwear?
I had a donut today.
Crass and inappropriate. It's your trippy hippie Alicia jumping on the mic from
Sounds
good old
good.
Utah.
Danielle, I'm starting to feel this shit.
Welcome.
To Hard Talks.
Seductions.
Seductions.
Where the talks are really hard.
I thought this was flaccid talks. It's my bell.
This shit sound deep.
Aha.
Ring. This is Hard Talks. Hard Talks.
Hard talks?
Hard Talks.
Hard talks.
You're listening to Hard Talks with a blonde and a hippie.
Brought you by Hard Talk Abduction.
Woo! We made it. We made it to another weekend. A freaking weekend. Congratulations, everybody. If you're listening to this, you know it's Hard Talks with a blonde and a hippie. I'm your trippy hippie, Alicia, jumping on the mic from good old Utah. Ogden, Utah.
Ogden.
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 I'm joined today by my best friend and your favorite blonde,
Sarah.
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 God damn it. I'm going to make a Sarah reel.
You should.
Like, just all your long,
I was
awkward
thinking
pauses.
that. I'm like, I think someone should, like, we should do that. So I can, like, insert this here so I can just say here and go,
I already have a burp and fart reel
From me?
from both of us. But the fart reel is
I was
more
gonna
of
say,
Sarah
I-
making noises. Today, as of this recording date, it's a special day for my family. But we're going to talk about nostalgia today because everybody
Nostalgia.
has experienced it, from a smell, a place, a song that comes on. You know, it's random.
So
And
true.
sometimes you can't always trace back, like,
That
what's
memory.
making you feel nostalgic. So,
You're like, yeah, but why? And then you're like, oh.
right. Today is my little boy's 5th birthday. My little Elliot.
5.
My Hard Talks babe. Oh my God, that
What
scared me.
the hell? I about shit my pants. I did not know that. Did that. I'm like, I was looking over there. You'll probably see my face go black because I'm over here looking at that door.
I told you the house was haunted. No, so I put my cat in my laundry room, and the laundry room is connected to my storage closet.
Oh my God.
And apparently this door wasn't closed, so you could see her paw like halfway out
I
the
couldn't
door.
see her paw. I could just see the door moving, and I couldn't figure out where the hell the door's moving. I looked down, and then her paws are like kind of like sticking out, and I'm like, "Did you get 2 cats? Because the fudge nuts."
The fudge nuts. Oh yeah, this is an 18 and up podcast. We curse like sailors. Don't want to be responsible for your 5-year-olds or under saying fuck or goddamn. We also talk all things controversial, difficult, wildly inappropriate, and taboo. So that's your warning.
You're really good at that.
Thank you.
Like you've done it for so long, you're just like, blah, 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 blah.
I used to like always wonder how like people who did the auctioneers like were able to talk so fast, like
Because they practice.
100, 150 right here, 2,000, 2,050. It's like,
You go
what
from like
the fuck?
150 to 2,000.
It's because my brain can't work that fast.
Obviously. 'cause
Obviously.
No one goes 150 to 2,000 and
Well, you never know. Maybe it's a hot ticket item.
maybe
Snap.
my body.
Yeah. Are we going to auction up that? Because there are some bidders out there. Some of our listeners want your body.
I mean, hey.
And her body is telling you no. So nostalgia, defined, is a noun.
I don't know what that means. Like, what does it matter if it's a noun or an adjective? Like, honestly.
It's a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with a happy personal association. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like I was saying, smells are a big one for me. Like I could walk into a bakery and for some reason, like the smell of cinnamon makes me go back to my childhood.
Cinnamon.
Yes.
Like,
And
They were doing that the other day
I
on the video because you were like talking and you were like this.
speak with my hands. That's
And I
why
was
we had
making-
to start filming. And you guys now can see my spinner. And I had to cut a lot out with Chris Cruz because there may have been some
lot of
paraphernalia in there. And I'm like, yeah, I
Paraphernalia.
probably can't publicly post that. But it's kind of funny. You guys are welcome. You can see. But I was getting real sentimental and emotional this morning because,
Cinnamon.
well, no, that was just an example. It
Oh.
makes me feel nostalgic. When I was getting my little boy ready, I usually try and decorate for his birthday. Like I'll put up streamers and get balloons,
I
and
love that.
I could not find any streamers today. So I had to run to the grocery store at 7 a.m., come back, and all the memories on Facebook and Snapchat and whatever is popping up. And I'm just like, this is like hard. This is sad. You know, we talked about that many times on the show, like how time is irrelevant, right? Because when you're going through it, it feels like,
It's never ending.
yeah, something is taking so long. But then
You blink and
yeah.
it's like, damn.
my boy is 5, and I'm like, dude, I was at 7 a.m. going to the grocery store 5 years ago, 7 a.m. going in to get induced. And looking back on that time, I was just like, man, it's what a trip, you know? I mentioned like when I talked about divorce and stuff briefly, like I feel like one of my only regrets is I was so consumed with what was going on with divorce and losing my cheese, you know, my cheese sliding off my cracker.
Thank you, lost your cheese and your cracker.
Yeah, that like when memories pop up of Elliot, like that one in the bathtub I sent you, I was like, oh my God, you're so chunky and cute and I want to
What's that
squish
little?
you. And I just like, I almost don't even remember him looking that small. And it made
I
me
mean,
so
shit.
sad.
Well, it's hard to remember because, like, I don't remember Caroline being as small as she was, and she's only 6 months old.
I know. And this is going to be a weird, like example, but like roll with me here, right? Because in a day we feel like it's just droning on. The mundane bullshit is hard to ignore sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think about time since we work with so much hair, right? You know, shaving, right? 5 o'clock shadow. I was thinking about this just yesterday. I'm like, you could shave your face in the morning and have that
Stubble.
stubble at
That's
the
how
end of the day.
Literally chase.
I'm literally, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
24 hours seems like a short period of time.
We can grow a goddamn beard.
Yeah. And so it's just like, we don't see the growth in our children or even our pets or ourselves when it's happening right in front of
No.
us. But if you like break it down to like something like that, I mean,
Yeah. But yeah,
Damn.
you gotta think about it too. Like, I mean, yesterday I dropped Caroline off to my aunt, and I was gone for like 6 hours, and I picked her up, and I'm like, her face changed. And I was like, what the hell happened? Like, you
Yeah.
look so different, but I saw you 6 hours ago.
mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell?
It's like taking a step back and refocusing the lens, right?
Mhm.
Suddenly you're like, oh my God, like I'm with you constantly. As soon as I step away, you've grown.
You're like
What's
a
up?
completely different person.
Don't be growing up on me, okay? I'm not ready for the mean teenage years. He's already
he's
negotiating
5.
everything. Everything. And that,
I almost have a 1-year-old.
Mhm.
Make me say yeah.
Yeah, and that kid is my kid is so inquisitive, you know what I
He's
mean?
so funny.
He leaves a lasting impact on everyone who meets him through his intuition. He's a very intuitive little boy. He picks up on emotion and he can step into a room and kind of like gauge an audience, you know what I mean? Like I talked about this with my friend who I was seeing, like he was kind of not sure how to act around Elliot, so Elliot wasn't sure to
Yeah,
act
right.
around him, you know what I mean? He's a very empathetic little boy and he feels so deeply, and it's just so awesome to watch him grow up and be the sassy, silly, smart ass little boy that he is, because he is. I'm just like, where do you get this from?
I wonder.
I wonder. But as I was sending him off to school to celebrate his birthday with his friends, I was thinking, what is like one of the earliest memories I have when it comes to like birthdays? I think I make such a big deal out of birthdays because my parents made such a big deal out of birthdays. You know what I mean? I think everybody deserves to feel like loved and seen and be celebrated. I think birthdays should be fucking awesome. And I never understood that because most people are like, it's just another day. I'm like, no, it's the day you became Earthside, and you know, you
Like, it's a goddamn birthday.
yeah, like you got to celebrate yourself. And so, I wanted to ask you, like, I know you don't remember a lot of your childhood, but what's one of the first
That's the only one.
earliest birthdays that you remember? How did your family celebrate your birthday?
I'm trying to think because, like, I'm like, was it on a birthday? Was it like around a birthday? Because I had like split parents,
Yeah.
so it's like, when like was the birthday? Was this not a birthday? Like, I don't know. But I remember one time. I don't know if it was on my birthday, but I remember celebrating it. And I had all my cousins there, or like on my dad's side, and it was like this like birthday present. And I reached in and I was like, "Oh, thanks, Dad." Like, I don't like. Okay, and I put it back, and he's like, "Well, show everyone what you got." And I'm like, "Do I have to?" Like, I'm like little. Like, this is embarrassing to my like little like. I think I was like 7, like maybe 5. I don't know, like 6 or 7. This
She's
is
like
embarrassing
somewhere
to
in
me.
between.
I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Show us what you got, Lulu." And I'm like, pull out a package of underwear.
Oh, was it like at a party?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's an awkward gift to pull. I mean, once you get older.
I mean, like, now I'm like, give me all the underwear. I'll take it. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
But like
please.
at like my little 6-year-old self, I'm like, all these cool toys, and I'm like, fucking underwear? Like, what is this? Don't make me show everyone, Dad. And then I remember another time
Did they have the days of the week on each
No, they
pair?
were like white. Like white. Like, they were just like white. And I'm like,
starter garments.
thanks, Dad. Freaking hey, but I remember my stepmom, my first stepmom that I had. She
First
let,
one.
my first one.
Stepmom A.
Stepmom 1. She let me. I remember one time for my birthday. I wasn't like. I don't think it was like on my birthday again. Like, I don't know because it was like split
okay.
parents. It's hard.
Yeah.
She let me pick out my own cake, and I picked out a Pocahontas cake because I had the girl in it, and I wanted this girl,
The Barbie.
the Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Really
That,
fun.
oh. Did you like get a birthday? Like, was it kind of like holidays where your parents both tried to do something every year? Since your dad was a little more distant, was it mostly your mom?
Yeah, and then like living in St. George too, I just like had a lot of parties with my mom, so that was cool.
So I remember I felt bad because I wrote all these invitations up for Elliot's birthday. And obviously the party room only allows like so many kids. So I let him invite 7 friends from school, and I go to like hand them to the teacher, and one of the little girls comes up
Oh, jeez.
and she's like, "Can I have one?" And of course I wanted to be like, "Of course you can, sugar."
Yeah.
But then, because they all had like the names already written on them,
But
and I
like,
didn't know who
But
she
I can
was.
only have 7 people.
So I kind of looked down at Elliot, and I'm like I don't want to be like, "Is she okay?" Because
Like,
like,
is
what the
she a
fuck are
part
we
of it?
teaching our children, right? But
Right.
like, I kind of looked at him, and he just knew. He's like, "Yeah, Mom, this is Mally. She's cool." I was
Oh
like,
my God.
damn
You're like,
it.
done.
I was like, "Cool. I'm glad that I didn't have to sweat about. Here's yours, sweetheart."
You're like, let me look for yours.
But
Where is it at?
my parents let me have birthday parties, I think up until the age of 10. Like, you know, do you invite your, because I mean, neighborhoods were really tight knit.
Yeah.
Or in the neighborhood I grew up in Minnesota. So
Minnesota.
I always got to invite the neighborhood girls. And there were a few like the naughty rebel girls that lived down the block. That, of course, they came. But she always made it a big deal. You know, my mom always really made an effort to make me feel special. We'd get our nails done.
Ow.
And then after 10, she was like, "Parties are expensive, Alicia. We can't do it anymore."
She's like, you're 10 years old. You don't need a party anymore.
So then I was like, "Okay, I won't have a birthday party. I'll just spread shit out through the whole week." And that's what I've been doing ever since. Like, I don't have a birthday day.
The
Neither does
birthday
Elliot.
week.
I have a birthday week. Or we have a birthday month.
We have a birthday month.
We really do. But I also remember like when I turned 10,
It's
and
like a horrible birthday.
I was it? Because let me ask you
Well,
this.
no,
like,
no, it was a horrible. Did you get a birthday party at least?
I was sick
Was
on my
that-
10th birthday.
Oh.
So my family came over for barbecue dinner, but it's like I felt gypped, right? Because I
You
was
were
sick. And I think that was the first time where I became consciously aware of like, oh, birthdays mean that you get older. And like at 10
Yeah.
years old, that
yeah.
I remember because my mom,
It's not just about like presents and parties and like
Right.
cake.
right, every night or every birthday at 9:17 p.m., she'll always be like, this is the minute you were born.
I should do that at like 2:15 a.m. Caroline, wake your ass up.
This is the minute you were born.
This is when you were born, and you're gonna stay awake because you kept me awake. No, that'd be horrible. But maybe I will all just like nudge her and be like, "Happy birthday, baby.
Happy birthday, baby.
Go back to sleep."
Yes. But I remember she's dancing around with me at 10 and she's like, you were born, you're a you're old.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that like again gave me more perspective of like
you're a decade old. You're like, I'm a decade.
it made
And then,
I
like,
cried.
Well, to your 10 little
Like,
self, like you don't realize like a decade's only 10 years, but you're like, I'm a mom. I'm a decade.
my tender-hearted, innocent, naive little child
10-year-old
self, I was
decade
like,
self.
I don't want to be 10. I will never
Aw.
forget that birthday. And of course, like every birthday has been great because I make a show of it for myself no matter
Naturally.
what. Naturally. That's my thing.
I mean,
But I also make a show of it for everybody.
you have to. It's your
Everybody.
birthday.
But
Dude, I cannot wait for 30.
you keep saying that, but I'm just going to try and enjoy every year.
I know, but I'm going to be 30 for the next 20 years.
That goes back to that 10th birthday. I don't want to speed anything up because it's just flying by.
I mean, shit, I'll blink and I'll be 30 tomorrow. I'll be like,
Yeah, and then you're going to be like, man, I wish I was 26 again.
I'm okay not being 26, but whatever.
What's the worst? I mean, any birthday gift is a gift, but
Freaking underwear.
underwear?
I
remember-
honestly,
5th grade, my grandma gave me a cat sweater.
oh
Like it
my
was
God.
a big, itchy yarn sweater with
Should
a
keep
bunch
that
of
shit.
cats on it.
'Cause
and-
that's like a delicacy now.
No, it was dreadful. It was dreadful then. It will always be dreadful.
Was it like homemade?
I don't know, but like it
I
was.
feel like
it-
sweaters.
I don't know. It was one of
homemade.
those hideous ones that have like the flannel cuffs stitched into and a collar, but
Oh
then
my
like a
God.
fleece, itchy sweater with cats sewn to it.
I honestly would wear that
Well, my mom made me,
now.
even though we didn't even live in the same state as grandma. She
You just, like,
she made me
take
wear it
one-
to school.
You just take one picture in it, and she will never know. Grandma
No.
will never know.
I was that kid that took the cat sweater off because I was smart enough to wear an undershirt to school. But it was rough to say the least. And I think no present is also bad because my ex-husband forgot my birthday one year. And I don't know how that's possible because I never shut up about it.
I mean, like everyone should know when your birthday is.
My fucking birthday. But no, speaking on nostalgia, do you keep photo albums around your house? Do you ever look at them? You ever go back and look at old photos?
I do. Well, okay, so we don't really have photo albums like my grandma does. So like
Like my grandma does?
yeah, but listen, so like when we went to our Savannah trip a couple years ago before COVID, my sister, we took all those pictures and we made a Georgia book. So we have like, we don't really do like albums, we do books. So we have a lot of books, like picture books. And I love going through them because I'm like, oh, I remember I'm like, look how little, like I have pictures of Addie when she's like tiny.
Your niece, yeah.
Yes, my niece. And I'm just like,
Baby.
look how little. I'm like, look at her hair. She had so much hair. And I look at Caroline. I'm like, you're fucking bald.
You're
Why the hell
bald.
are you bald? And then like today, my grandma gave me a picture of my mom 15 days old.
Really?
And I was like, look how cute. I'm like, she has a lot of hair.
I love those old pictures.
I'm like, is that me? And she's like, why would it be you? And I was like, savage, Grammy.
But,
Sorry.
You know what's funny? I love old pictures, not even just about me. Like my aunt mailed me a bunch of pictures of my dad as a kid. And
I think those are the best.
my God, like
Their outfits kill me, and their haircuts.
yes. Well, the haircuts are back now. It's kind of funny because if you go back and look at pictures from the 60s, 70s, all that style is in right now.
Yeah, I love old pictures.
And you were saying I sent you a baby picture of me the other day, and you were like, "Holy shit! I thought that was Elliot at
my
first."
God. I showed Chase, and I'm like, "That's Alicia," and he goes, "Holy shit!" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I thought that was Elliot too.
Well,
It's fine."
I always thought that Elliot looked like his dad. but-
No, and that. Oh my God.
yeah. So I'm looking at pictures of my dad as a kid. And I'm like, "Holy shit! I look exactly like my dad." It's so funny. But then I see pictures of my mom at like 14 to
And you're like,
16,
okay,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
there we
"Holy
go."
shit! I look just like my mom."
Oh yeah.
With the big fro. Like she had the giant curly puffy hair in the 80s and the shoulder pads, all the shoulder pads.
Love that.
But
Your
I mean,
sister wore shoulder pads,
my sister is a walking,
like 80s catalog. Her and
Yes.
Sadie.
yes, they're adorable.
I love that.
Cross between 80s and 90s. But
I love
I mean, half my clothes are from said little sister
know.
now, which is great. I'm not complaining. But
They look great.
it's such a trip to hear about your parents' childhood and their takeaways, what they remember, and to look back on your childhood and what you took away from it. And I look at Elliot at 5 and under, and I'm just like, what the fuck are his takeaways going to be when he grows up? You know what I mean? And I mean,
My mom was high all the time. Podcast different time.
different podcast, different time. But I mean, I was thinking about COVID too.
Oh yeah.
Like, one of Elliot's most traumatic memories might be me forcing him to wear a mask at the height of the pandemic. You know what I mean? Going into the grocery store and him just sobbing because he didn't want to wear this thing on his face. And I think about
and
things
everyone
like that.
around him.
Yeah, I'm like, I bet he remembers this when he grows up, even at 2, 3, 4 years old.
And like Caroline, like that was her literally. Like I was bad. I didn't wear my mask at all, like in the hospital. But like that was like one of her like, she just like came out of the womb with everyone wearing masks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it's like not one of like she's not gonna remember it obviously, but like that's like her thing of like you were born and you knew who we were because of our masks.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's like even though we would wear a mask, like she wasn't like, oh my God, who are you? Like she's like, oh okay, like this is normal.
But also, like, if someone always wore a mask, like you say it was like someone in your extended family,
And then they take it
grandparents,
off, and you're like,
aunt, uncles, they finally take off the mask and they're like, whoa,
you're
I've
like,
never
all right, yeah.
seen your whole face
You got
before.
a beard?
Didn't know anything was under that
Since
thing.
when did you get a beard?
I like it better on. Put it back on.
Anyone looks
Yeet. Ugh.
anyone looks better with a helmet on.
Oh. So
Mask.
next question, that being like traumatic things. Like, did you ever get hurt as a kid? Or like, was there something that really stands out from your childhood?
Yes.
Like what?
So I'm like accident prone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so I'm afraid of like anything like like has like a motor. I'm just like, nope, I'm good. But Chase is like, come on, babe, and I'm like, no, shut down, babe.
Like a motor? Like, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, so like there was a one time where it was with my dad. I have like two instances, like one with my dad and one with my mom. Like this is just, it's fine. So with my dad, we were on one of his snowmobiles, and it was my uncle's, and we were at my grandma's house, and it was like they like bought the property next to him, and then like had a really big field and like a barn, and like nothing was there. So like, this really big field, but had like a really hard drop. So it was like a little like hill they had to go off. So we were circling around. My cousin was on the other sled. I was too little to be by myself, so my dad was with me. And I was like, I had the handle. I was sitting in front, and I had the like, I was gonna go, and he like leaned forward, and my little elbow, I had my thumb on the accelerator, and he hit my elbow, and I just like full ramped it, and we go flying over this gosh dang hill. So we're like on the top part, right? And it's like a little like, if you can see the video, it's like an incline like this, and it's like a little flat part. So we go flying over, and it's like this like we go on our sides and like slide and almost like hit a fence. And I'm like, are you okay, Dad? I'm so sorry. I'm like freaking out. I feel horrible.
It's almost like you forget there's
I thought
a break.
I like broke my dad. I was like, oh my God, he's so old and I broke him.
You
and
shouldn't have hit my arm.
I'm like, you hit my elbow. And he's like, why didn't you stop? And I'm like, I couldn't. Because like I was leaning forward and I was like, oh my God.
God.
It was great. I remember that. And I feel so bad. I'm like, sorry, Troy.
Troy.
Those were his snowmobiles. And I was like, I remember that. And I'm like, never again am I getting on a sled.
Never?
No, I've gone on before.
Okay. I was like, traumatic.
Oh yeah. And there's another time I have to tell you about this. Like we were all driving a 4-wheeler and there was like me and my cousins and there was like 3 in the front and I was in the very last one in the back. I don't know why we all had to do that. And he,
So there
again,
were 3 of you on a 4-wheeler?
4 of us.
Oh my God, Sarah.
It was
Where are your parents?
stupid. We had to get gas for them, so they were like gone. So I'm like holding the gas can, and there's like 3 other cousins in front of me, and we're all like the same size. So we're these little tykes on this. It was like a 900 Sportsman.
Bet you were barefoot too.
No, but it had like the safety bar behind it, so like you could like sit 2 people on the side and like on the front. They had like little bars, and so something happened, and he like went over a bump and we all kind of like went forward. So again, the accelerator goes, you know, because we all went forward with him and we just hit this ditch and I have the gas can. I'm like hanging off the back of this gosh dang 4-wheeler. Oh my God, my back. I had the biggest bruise on my back and my mom's like, let me rub your back. I'm like, don't touch my back. I'm like, Mom, my back hurts.
How far did you hang on for?
I hung on till we like got to the end. We're all just sitting there. We're all like disheveled. We're like, holy shit. I'm like, I got the gas can. Don't worry.
Hold on, cousin. We're almost there. We've all been
We
there.
all just
though.
kind of like sat there and we're like, holy shit, are you okay? Like that was like scary moment for us.
I feel like anyone who comes from a big family and goes camping a lot has had a few redneck moments in their
Oh
life.
my God, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There
'Cause
was like,
we have for sure building bonfires and then accidentally almost lighting the whole fucking forest on fire because
mean,
my dad's
shit.
a pyromaniac. But
it's fine.
it is fine.
It happens.
Oh no, but one of the things that I carry with me forever, like, and it's weird too when you look back on memories because it's almost like flashbacks, right?
Yes.
It's not like you remember the whole memory, especially like earliest memories. It's almost like a slideshow in my brain.
That's
you know,
how-
a
yeah.
flicker of things.
Some of the stuff I remember, I'm like, why do I have to remember that? Why can't I remember something happy?
right?
Like
True.
that is like this, like, I feel like
Yes.
when you do like something so stupid, but in the moment you're like, I'm so cool. And then you're like, God damn, you were an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why are you stupid?
I mean,
Like, why do I have to
truly.
remember that stupidity for the rest of my life? Like, why can't I remember everything else about that memory, but that one part where you're just stupid and you're like,
Well, that's a good point, right? Because our bodies remember pain. So that's a good reason why we hold on to things. And our bodies also, not our bodies, but like as human beings, and as unfortunate as it is, wow, we hold on to embarrassment and
oh
shame.
my God.
So
much,
some of my
so
most
much embarrassment in my mind.
Embarrassing moments like through junior high or high school.
God, that was weird.
I was weird. And I look back and I'm like, why was I so fucking weird? Like,
I didn't have friends. I was so goddamn weird.
I was that kid who always like wanted attention, so I would just be so fucking obnoxious and loud all the
But they're
time.
like, yeah, she wants attention.
I
but we're
loved-
not gonna give it.
I
to
loved
her.
theater class for that, right? Because I could be an off the wall, loud kid,
I
and
loved it.
other kids were exactly the same way. But no, I totally understand that. You hold on to the like the time I farted in English class. That was embarrassing as fuck. I thought it was gonna be a silent one, and it was a
Oh.
squeaker.
You let it go.
I didn't. My
God,
stomach hurt.
I'm like in there. I'm like, don't.
Bad
anything.
tater tots in the cafeteria, man. But you shit once a week, so I bet you don't
mean-
even fart.
No, but when I do, you better run for cover. Those
because
goddamn things are deadly.
Your intestines are probably like, oh my God, I'm
it's-
shriveling.
It's so great now because I'm like, that's a freaking rotten egg. And he's all like, plastic bag. That's all I smell. Anything that stinks, he's like, plastic bag. But I kid you not. My intestines hate me so every time I like fart. I'm like, good Lord, did something die up my asshole?
Yeah, something crawled up there and never came out.
Shit, dude. I'm
Dude.
like, can you smell that? And Jason's like, plastic bag. Smells like a plastic. Smells like a plastic bag.
I don't even know what a plastic bag smells
I know.
like.
He making me grab one, and he's like, "Let me smell it first." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm like a clean plastic bag, and he's smelling them.
We're talking when you walked in. I was like, I stink a little bit, but we all have our own scent, and like
Oh
that.
my
I've had
God.
people be like, "Oh, I like your scent, even when you stink," right? So, but that
Yeah,
sounds
but
weird.
certain like must. But people have things that are like that rollerball from Pure.
Romance.
It's like that uses your own pheromones.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. Oh, hey.
So no wonder why people like your certain stank because it's your pheromone. You're like,
Isn't that just interesting? Like we as humans are like,
I love Chase's stink though.
I know it's them.
But
you
it's
know what
like-
I mean?
it's
It's
just
the
his.
embodiment of them.
It is just like anyone's. I'm like, dude, you fucking stink. But I'm like, Chase, I'm like, come here, my little stinky sweaty man. I'm like, let me lick
I
you.
need to shower. No, you don't.
I'm like, let me see you. And I'm like, I go down. I'm like going like this to his body. He's like, babe, don't my balls stink. I'm like,
Oh my God, no!
I'm like, bring me the sticky balls. Because he's like, I'm like, babe, I haven't showered today. And he's like, so I'm like, please don't go down there.
I just,
But
funky cheese.
But that's when you know you love someone. I decided that's because I'm like, I love everything about you. Like, you don't stink to me. I'm like, you're my person.
You're my person.
Because like other people, I'm like, dude, you fucking stink.
God damn it.
I like even care. I'm like, her poops. I've been giving her baby food. I'm like,
well,
girl.
poop is poop. That's
No,
different.
hers though, like from her breast milk poops to like her solid food poops. I'm like, girlfriend, you stink.
You stink.
But I feel bad because like I remember one time I didn't shower. I shower every morning. It's like a thing. Like I have to like it's like an obsession. I'm like I don't shower. I'm like I didn't shower today. I'm sorry. Like I didn't shower and I was like, dude, I stink. And she's like her head's like up on my armpit. And I'm like, girlfriend, I'm sorry.
She's probably
but she's like nuzzling me and I'm
this
like,
is my mom.
I know that's how
This
like,
is how she smells all the time.
I know, because I was like telling you that, and you're like, no, she loves it because you're her mom, and I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah, that's just weird.
That's so true.
It's just weird. But pain, one of my
Pain, yes.
earliest memories.
Go to pain. Was
I
your
think
stomach
I've even
hurting from English because you farted?
No, that's not one of my earliest memories. That's just an embarrassing memory that I'll live with
because
forever.
it's embarrassing. But you have the pain of a stomach.
No, of course it was during like a fucking English test. So everybody's
my
heads
God.
down, pencils up.
and it's like quiet as shit. And they all know who it is because you're like sitting there like your face is like pure.
I
ass
think
white,
I
and your eyes
was literally
are
like, oh
cute.
no. Like
That's the moment where you're like, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
hide. Can I dig a hole into the fucking
And you
floor
know,
and
and you know
disappear
that
right
kid
now?
behind you, like,
Yeah, it was the asshole kid who's
I can't even do that. You're like, he's like, dude, this stinks, it's her.
oh my God, I
And you're
hated
sitting
high
here like,
school.
No, it wasn't.
But I have
your earliest-
flashbacks too, and I think
Your earliest moment.
I've shared this on the show before, but it will stay with me forever as well. Is the time I fell off a slide in daycare and I
Oh.
bit through my tongue.
Shit. Oh, damn.
That's why they put my piercing so
Where they
far
did?
back, because I didn't have very much like.
They're like, this fell out.
Because the tongue is a muscle, and so most of the time, if you severely damage it, they can't like
Still back together.
right, unless it's horrible. You know what I mean? Like
God,
my
you
dad
have
bit
to-
through his tongue, and half of it was like completely bit through. So that's a different story.
They're
But
like, you're just gonna like amputate half the
no, like I remember, I don't remember what we were doing. All that we were playing on the playground, and I got pushed off the top of this slide, and.
Oh.
It was the mean boy. It's always the mean boys.
It's always the mean kids,
Always
you
the mean
little
boys.
assholes. Be
And I
nice.
landed on my back, and that's what I remember. It was
Oh.
just stars, and then the teacher taking me
Especially,
in.
like your back of your head.
Mhm. And then what I remember most wasn't the pain, but it was bleeding so badly. I remember they were trying to stop the bleeding with paper towels.
Oh yeah.
So it was sticking to my tongue,
Oh.
and that's what I was getting so upset about.
you're like, I don't like that feeling. And they're like, no, stop. And you're like, no.
Right. And then I've shared this story as well briefly, but the gentleman next door to us in Burnsville, Minnesota, he got murdered.
What?
Yeah. So I remember like my mom calling the police, and my dad worked swings, and that being really scary because it was like a cove-like apartment building. So we're up in her room, and she was pregnant with Rachel, so I wasn't even 6 yet. No, it might have been even earlier than that, but she didn't know what to do because you could literally look down and like see everything that was going on.
Guys like getting murdered.
It was going, two drunk guys and
Next podcast, we gotta write that down. I want to hear this story.
It was crazy, but I wrote best. I don't know.
I was
best.
like, why did you write best?
Burnsville, Minnesota.
Okay, I have to tell this story about Chase. So when we go to Burger Bar, he always tells me this. I love how he repeats himself. We go to somewhere and he goes, yeah, he's like, I used to go to daycare over there. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like every time I go to Burger Bar, he's like, I used to go to daycare. I'm like, oh, did you? I didn't know that. What? And he goes, yeah, I had a lumpy fart. And I was like, a what?
I shit myself.
And he goes, babe, I had a lumpy fart. He's like, I remember he's like, we're sitting there reading time. I raised my hand and he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And teacher's like, no, we're in reading. He's like, no, I got to go to the bathroom. And she's like, Chasten? No. Why?
Chasten?
And he goes, I had a lumpy fart. I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, I remember they called my mom and I had to wear pink pants. Because I'm like, oh, they couldn't find you any little boy lost in band pants. And he's like, no, I had to wear girl pink sweatpants.
Oh, well, I hope the girl who lost the pink pants was okay.
I know. I'm like, well, what pants did she wearing if she lost them? Like, what the hell?
Poor Chase. He was probably the poopy pants kid for a long time.
Oh, he had a big ass head too, poor thing.
He has kind of a squared head.
It's
too.
round.
He has a squared jawline and his forehead.
Yeah, but when he's a baby, it's round. I'm glad Caroline's is more oval, like mine. His is
a blockhead. That's dramatic, though.
I
really
felt so bad. I'm like, your whole classroom, and the teacher's like, no.
Well, okay. This is a side note, but remember how we were talking about how kids call their body parts different things based off of what their parents call them?
Which we should all just call them vaginas and penises because it's honestly
anatomically correct.
And it's gonna be
less
weird.
Confusing. My friend's family called boys' penises their deeters.
See, I don't know what a fucking deeter is.
And so he was telling me this story about how his uncle, when he was a kid, he had to raise his hand, or maybe it was his nephew. He raised his hand kind of just like Chase. That's what reminded me of this. And he's like, teacher, something's happening.
Oh, jeez.
And she's like, what? What's happening, sweetie? And he's like, my deeter is swelling.
Oh,
and
gosh.
she's like, I don't know what that is.
She's like, I don't know what a deeter is.
So she took him to the nurse's office.
I mean, shit, you don't know.
And then he proceeds to call said friend's uncle. That's what it was. And he's like, what's wrong, buddy? And they're like, we don't know. We don't know what's going on.
You're
He just keeps saying his deeter. And he gets on the phone with his dad, and he's like, Daddy, my deeter is swelling. And he's like, oh, that'll happen every now. It'll go away.
And he's like, let me talk to the teacher. Yeah, it's his penis.
Don't.
He's getting wood. Morning wood is happening. Okay.
It's the afternoon.
Afternoon wood. It happens 24/7.
Oh my God. Oh, but it's just, yeah. I just hope as Elliot's, getting older that he can look back on his childhood and have mostly good moments.
Yes.
Because I think most of mine are good.
I feel like they are.
I mean
everyone remembers embarrassing ones because it's fine.
Right. Because it's just say that all the time too. You only know what you know. You learn from experiences and a lot of failures.
Oh yeah, and you parent how you parented. You parent how you were parented.
Yes. I hope he doesn't have any crazy stories to tell his future wife about how his mom was a pot smoking.
I mean, just wait till Caroline comes in the mix, and then he's gonna be like, "Yeah, my answer is fucking crazy." You're like, "Boo, I got you."
Boo, I got you. No, you're gonna be.
He'll be all like, my freaking mom and Aunt Sarah were like psychos.
They're the moms that you don't want to go out with on
No.
your 21st birthday.
We're gonna be like, let's go, bitches. Yeah, and he's gonna be like, that's my fucking mom and aunt. Oh my god,
this is how it's gonna be, because any mom or dad listening who has sons knows that all boys just love their mamas.
That's true.
And so I hope
And Elliot is gonna be like obsessed with.
I
you.
hope he never grows out of all of our epic dance parties.
I hope not.
I hope he never grows out of the way he views the world. Everything is
He's so damn
so
cute.
wonderful, and he has so much love, and he just wants to
So
share it
much
with
love.
everybody. And he has 1,000,003 questions to ask, but it's just, I mean, it's incredible to watch someone that you made from scratch, that came out of your body, turn into an incredible
Being-
small adult. Yeah. Into the human they're meant to be. And
Yes.
one more story. I want to share this with you. My grandpa Enrico, my paternal grandfather, he passed away in 2009. But
Oh.
notorious, very successful doctor, very well known, especially locally to Utah. But it's funny because he had been passed away so long. I was going in to get induced. I was very, very nervous with my second labor because of my adoption. You know, that was extremely difficult on me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even let Elliot go to the nursery because I was like, that's my baby. You
You're
know
like,
what?
you ain't taking him
That's
away.
my baby. So you fucking ex-husband, you follow that baby. Like,
That baby ain't leaving your sight.
no. And so going in for my induction, I was just dreading it, just a big ball of anxiety. And I nested hard, cleaned everything about 5 times over, had everything packed, ready to go to bed that night and have a dream of my grandpa Enrico.
Oh.
And
Chill.
he's checking me out, right? My last doctor visit, and he, pulls out of the chair and he's like, "You're good to go, Alicia Marie. Go have that baby."
Oh.
And I woke up and I was like so overcome with this sense of calm and this
Literal chills. And
yeah,
it's not even
this
that cold
is
in
this
here.
baby is gonna be wonderful. And I went in and had this baby, and he was my angel baby, just my rainbow baby. And he really is. Ever since he came into the world, he's made not only my life, my world, and everyone who knows him, a brighter place.
One thing really fast. It was so damn cute. I remember I was thinking this on the way here. So when I was pregnant, I was like, 8 months along, and I was leaving your house, and he goes, "Wait." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Let me kiss that baby."
Your
And
belly.
it was the cutest damn thing because he's like, "Let me kiss that baby."
I know.
And I'm like, "Come on over." And he just he was talking to it first. I was like, "Kid, you kill me." I'm like, "Don't make me
and
cry."
his sense of awareness and his
He's so
consciousness with
funny.
things
He's
is
so cute.
incredible. I mean, even Grady, my older son, he talks about him all the time. And Elliot hasn't gotten to spend much time with his older brother, but he definitely knows that he's out there. And he'll ask me about him all the time. Like, he came up a few nights ago with Grady's baby book. I have a photo fly one, and he's like, "Is this my big brother?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "The one that came from your belly too?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so just his ability to grasp things at such a young age,
Just amazing.
in-depth things, I'm
Right.
just like, dude, you're going to change the
Kid.
world.
He's going to be a doctor.
Yeah. But all that being said, you guys,
Running
if
out
you're
of
out
time.
there, if you're out there, and you're,
If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you.
yeah, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you too. Yes. Oh, yes. All the claps. But also, if you're listening to this tomorrow, because I'm going to publish this before our last one, just because
Yes.
it's more
Amazing.
timely
And
with
it's his birthdays today.
what we're talking about. Appreciate the small things. You know what I mean?
Love 'em.
Soak up every single minute because time flies. It really
Literally.
does. I hate cliches because they're so fucking
But
accurate.
until you're in it, it's like, pfft.
But it's true. And I remember being that kid, 10, 14, even 20, always looking to the future and being like, I can't wait till I'm 16. I can't wait till I'm 21.
It'll always be better.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
you hit it and you're like, well, shit.
But
I'm
it's
already
not.
this age.
Like, there are so many valuable lessons to be had in this moment right now. So just appreciate it and celebrate this chance to be alive and breathing. I love you guys. You're beautiful wherever you are. Know that you're kicking ass, and we see all that hard work that you're putting in. All right? We appreciate you for listening, and I appreciate you for just being.
I love you.
I love you, too.
That was a funny episode because I was laughing really hard. That was like a genuine laugh, too.
Yeah. So what Sarah's saying is she's disingenuine in all of our other episodes.
No, that was like a full-on belly.
That was good.
Hardcore. laugh.
No, but you guys, if you want to give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook, you can do so at Hard Talks with B&H. We are on Twitter at Hard Talks with B1. You can find our Patreon page using the link in our bio on Instagram and Facebook. Our February bonus reading is up, and it's awesome. It's also on YouTube. Love that for us.
Hear me.
Yes.
Scream.
Anyways, guys, we love you. Till next week. Bye.
Bye.
Like a boom.
Should I show them my titties?
Whoa.
Not leaving.
Crap.
Titties!